Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Oh, we can hear you as well. Okay, excellent.
Yeah, there we go.
That's always a
How?
bonus, isn't it? Can everyone? Can you hear us both? Okay. I'm looking like I'm probably stupendously loud. Let me turn myself down a little bit.
On a video. There we
Volume
go.
wise, no, you're looking like you're okay on the bars. So let me
Oh,
see what the viewers think, and if they want, I can make you quieter.
only a bit low. There you go. Loud and clear. Oh, hello. How are we all doing? How are we all
Uh,
doing?
Doing well. Yeah, I'm doing well. How are you, Jamie?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine.
So people are commenting that the ears are back. Unfortunately, for my shame, I kind of I never did find the missing one. I just ordered another set. So
Yeah, you had one ear on, and it was weird because it was making a little tiny like top of it. I did see that.
yeah, so I could actually have the ears and a horn, but I think we're getting a bit weird at that point. Weirder anyway. I did look for it only. I did look for it, but seriously, this is not a fun place to look for anything. So, yeah, at some point it'll show up, and then I'll be able to put ears on multiple headsets. You know, it's going to be great.
Mm.
But anyway, we're not here for ears, as strange as that
No.
might sound. We're here for the Meißen Branch. So we've got some questions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just start driving, and then
Yep.
Jamie can fling over some questions and things, and I'll
Fling
do
'em
my
at
best to
you. There you
answer.
Yep.
And that way we can look at stuff. Now, what I'm going to do is the first thing we're going to do is just do a straight run Dresden to Riesa. Sorry, Dresden to Meißen. So the exciting new bit is at the end. But the reason for doing that is because there's also a new service mode. This is a big update to the service mode. And let me move this over here. You will notice the BR182. You will notice the BR155 is now present. So there are new things. So what we're going to do is just going to run the service, and we'll see what we see. And then we'll spend a bit of time in Meißen and look at some other things as well. So it's sorry. Leo says, "Why are you releasing it so much later? If it's clearly already finished, you accidentally released it to Epic." Yeah, it was meant to go to the Epic into a testing area so that it could get final bit of testing. Unfortunately, we followed the instructions and it went to the live area instead. So yes, there's clearly some changes to procedures going on there. Yeah, but that's what happened there. It's not quite ready to go. It is nearly though. It's very nearly though. And you'll see that tonight. To be honest, right? What time am I doing this? 11:28. Where is it? 11:28. Relief that
There
I
we go.
found the service.
Oh dear. So yes, I've got some questions. Let me get him up. Let me get him up. So yes. So obviously, what's sort of unique to the branch? Because I haven't actually had a go with the branch yet. It looks, though, from what I've seen so far, it looks brilliant.
Right, press the doors the right way. There we go. I'm going to run without P's, B, and C for folks. Just saying that up front. That me coming to a stop because I'm trying to concentrate on talking to you all is less fun for me than perhaps it is for you. Let me just put the lights on. Turn the train lights on. Excellent. No, actually, I will put P's, B on because otherwise people say he's not running it because he's hiding something. So I'm going to put PZB on because, yeah, I don't want that. There's nothing to hide. It's all good. Right. Yeah, we're going to test the emergency brakes. Yeah, we should test the emergency brakes a little bit. Does Matt know how to run without safety systems? No, actually, I'm really bad at running without safety systems. It still comes to an emergency stop every 5 minutes. So what's unique to the branch? I mean, so if I just pop the map view up, this is the branch line here. So Coswig is down here. And then you come up here to Nizornowitz, and then there's a long old drive until you get to the various Meißen stations, ending at Triebstal over here. Triebstal, apologies for my pronunciation, as always. So that's kind of the branch. Now you gradually cross over the River Elbe again. which is quite nice, which is the river that we cross just down here. So you get to cross the River Elbe again. There's a lovely view, and it's really spectacular as you come across there and you see Meißen with the big castle on the side there. So it's this is the views. It's the views really are what to look forward to on that one.
Awesome.
It's about 9 kilometres long, the extra bit, and adds about, I think it's 4 stations that it adds.
It was brilliant. Wow.
Right. We are off.
Oh,
so
someone's asked, is there any more collectibles on the branch?
No, the collectibles haven't changed.
Okay, there we go.
Is PIS fixed now?
Oh, wow, look at that.
You should find PIS fixed in most cases. It appears that the trains bound for S2 Airport got missed. My bad, apologies. But everything else I think I got sorted out. So trains going to Leipzig should say Leipzig. Trains going to Cologne or Frankfurt should say so. And whenever I break the speed limit because I'm in start program, the emergency brakes, as proven here, will come on.
Oh, yeah. Well, that got very far. There we go. Oh dear, there we go.
Totally wasn't paying any attention to what I was doing because in my head I turned the safety systems off.
Yes.
But you should notice that says Skåne actually. So yeah, it is working. The PIS is working. It's my driving skills that are off to a good start indeed. The earliest possible fail I could have had delivered.
There you go, there's the first tick box. There you go.
Fails at the first possible moment that something could have possibly gone wrong. Tick.
There we go.
Never mind.
There you go. So it says, dear passengers, sorry for the day. I will turn off the safety systems now.
Yes. So one of the other changes that they're going in the service mode is that actually the services all have a 1 minute startup time now. So there's a little bit of extra time to get going in the first place, and all of the timings have been redone. They've all been recalculated, so it should be easier, more practical than it was before.
Yeah. So did you want to tell us a bit more about sort of service mode? Because I've seen some questions about is it any busier, and how many more do you get, etc. Sort of things like that.
Yeah, so there were a number of things that we wanted to address in the service mode, and one of the key ones is the busyness of the service mode. So we looked into what was going on there, and it's the rush hour S1 services were missing. So they've been added, almost all of them. There's a couple that didn't make it, but the vast majority did. That results in, I think, about 20 extra services or so on its own. So that's a bit of traffic. Just bulks up the what's going on the line there. It also adds some empty coaching moves as well.
Oh really? Oh wow!
As well. So there's a little bit of variety on that front. And the extra services are generally a different sort of formation of a train. There are a 143 with a coach and a cab car, rather than this service, which is lots of coaches and a cab car. So they're slightly different to what normally runs on it, which sort of stands them out as being the rush hour extra services. So they've been added. Then freight. This route is a massive freight corridor, and I think our massive freight corridor had about 20 trains on it before, which is pretty poor. Our massive freight corridor now has 120 trains on it.
Oh, blimey, wow.
So there's a lot more going on freight-wise. And not only that, some of those trains, whereas previously all of the freight went up the avoiding line, now probably 60% goes up the avoiding line, but 40% goes up the main line, which is completely prototypical, and means that you'll see both lines actually more, they're busier and you'll see more traffic on them. So there's a lot going on there. So freight is good. The BR155 and the MRCE 182 are now usable on freight services. Which was also something, particularly the 155 being an East German loco, not being able to use it on the East German route seemed like a bit of a problem. So that's been resolved, and you can now drive that. In fact, we'll be driving the 155 briefly in a following section. what else have we got? Massive changes. So all of the pathing of all of the services has been overhauled. So in particular, this particular area here, actually, there was some really weird stuff going on. It was trains were getting in the way of each other, and so that's all been tidied up. Prioritization's all been checked in various areas. It was particularly important as we made the mainline section a bit busier, and so you ended up with a bit more of a conflict in terms of what's going on with Coswig and the branch line. I'll fire over to there in a minute so I can show you. A couple of people have asked about the map collectible. That hasn't been changed. That is the same texture it was before.
Yeah.
Right, let me get this stopped and then I can show you.
Also, what are we playing on tonight? That's one thing I forgot to
I'm
ask
on
you.
PC on a dev build.
Yeah, there we go.
But yeah, so if I go here, what we were finding was one of the things we were finding is that you had a load of trains coming down here now because of the extra freight traffic going up and down here, and trains coming off the Meißen Branch. And what would happen is that the trains coming off the Meißen Branch, because of the way signalling's set up, the minute they leave here, they block out all the signals all the way up to Coswig. So they were holding up the main line for ages.
Wow.
So there's been reprioritisation, quite a lot of reprioritisation around this area to make it all flow nice and smoothly. And then I noticed that I did also pick up on the thread I posted on the forum, some people saying that the way that it managed the flow prioritisation here wasn't ideal, and it was meaning that you're always getting 1,000 hertz coming through here. That should be changed now as well, so you shouldn't get that anymore.
Oh, fantastic.
So there's loads and loads of changes with the prioritisation that have gone on there, which should make it a little bit more pleasant. Everything, like I said, everything's been retimed, and there's been a 1 minute setup added to all the passenger services. What else have we got? Oh, right, BR182 in Deutsche Bahn livery. That one, unfortunately, is not a happy story. It has a problem in that it is not compatible with the Dostos on this route for some reason. I don't understand why. And the team weren't able to get to fixing it, so I've had to remove it from the substitution for now, because it was breaking the service mode. And this is so a lot of people are experiencing, red lights where all the trains in front of them had stopped, and it's because one of them was a 182, and it had just got to a station and decided, well, that's it, I'm done now. And that was it. Okay. So I've taken that out so that at least what's there works. So as soon as we get the 182 fixed up, find out what's wrong there, then potentially that can come back. But for now, it's gone. All freight trains now have their train panels set up correctly because they were missing before. The red and white triangles on the back. That was missing previously, so that's all fixed. Hang on a second. And Journey was broken before because the flip states on various trains were wrong, which meant the trains were back to front to the way that it was expecting them to be, and people were ending up with a loco at either end, or worse, even more bizarre, a cab car at either end. It's like some kind of makeshift Twindex that doesn't go anywhere. So yes, there was a. They've all been corrected now, according to looking back at the photographs and videos of the real thing and confirming the right way round things should be. Everything's been reset the way that it matches up with the photos and the videos, and then Journey's been checked to make sure that is all good as well. So all should be for good on the Journey front. You shouldn't get any more bizarre consists coming up anymore. Oops. Let me just stop here. Open the doors. Sorry?
I hadn't noticed the check rails before. I'd noticed they've got some of the rails got check rails. I hadn't noticed that before.
Yeah, no, I think when Lucas laid the track on this one, he went to a lot of effort and put check rails, cross bridges, and in all places that the check rails should be.
Yeah.
There's no new scenarios, Robbins man. And the there and back again scenario hasn't been changed because it's already an 80-minute scenario. It would make that one probably the best part of 100 minutes, if not more, if that one was extended. So So no, that was left the way it was. So all the services. So one of the questions that I see a lot is how many more services are there because of the branch line? And the answer is there are no more services because of the branch line, because they already had all the services other than the 20 or so that I already said have been added because they were missing. All of the services are already there. So what's happened is instead of going to Coswig, they now go to freight train over there. Instead of going to Coswig, they now go to Meißen. So the services have just all this existing stuff for S-Bahn, S1 services just got longer.
Yeah.
So no, it is 45.
That was close. You would have nearly had another one there.
That would have been fun.
Yeah.
Well, the one it's also just away from Hamburg. I've not touched Hamburg. I've only been looking at the Dresden timetable. Oh.
There was something about destinations. Hang on a minute. On PIS, whether the off-world PIS would show up.
Yep. Yeah, I showed you in a couple of trains earlier on. I forgot that was a downhill drop down there. Yeah, there's a. I showed you earlier on. We had Skåne as a destination, which is one of the destinations east of Dresden. That's off the route, and you'll find Perna showing up, and Bad Skandau and other places coming off as off there. And similarly, heading in the other direction, you'll find the destinations like Leipzig on RE50, for example, and Cottbus and other places. So you should find everything has the right end destination. Like I said, the one thing I did find was that S2 going to the airport does not seem to show. It just says S2 on the end rather than saying Flughafen. So that's back on the list to have a look at, but everything else should be there.
Yeah. I know some people are mentioning about crashing issues. I wasn't sure, sorry.
So consoles are experiencing some crashing issues. We're still looking into that. There's some improvements, but still looking into what the heck is going on there, because it doesn't make any sense at this point. Right, hang on. Just pull into here.
Stop.
Stopping. I only stop for 1,000 hertz. What are you talking about? I don't have a date for when the PS for Dresden Flughafen will be fixed, Adrian. Will all new services, including 155 and 182, be available on Gen 8 consoles? I'm expecting so. That's certainly how it is right now. But we are still looking into this crashing problem, which is down to lots of trains. So bear with us, but that's how things are right now. ICE should say Frankfurt. Yes, I believe so. I can't remember. I followed what it said on the timetable. So
another freight car train. Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Look at that.
So one of the other things that's really cool is with the freight trains is I was actually working with a member of the forums who actually has helped me a lot. I won't name check him unless he comes up on the forum and said it's okay to do so. I meant to ask him on Discord, but big thanks. And essentially what one of the things that he did was send me over some creative ideas for formations. And so we've got some really interesting, authentic formations on the freight trains that are longer and more substantial than the ones that were in there previously. Okay. So there's several like 1,500-ton formations, 1,700-ton formations. There's one 2,700-ton formation, which is quite fun to drive with the BR143. So it's it means that your brake modes and your PZB modes will be more important to understand and to react to, because you'll be driving trains that are quite heavy.
Now that would be a challenge and a half, wouldn't it? For streaming, that would be an interesting one. Heavy goods.
Yeah, well, we are going to have a quick look at the monster train today, just so that you can see it for yourself. And it's not long train necessarily, but it's just because it's all fully loaded.
There we go. I think there was another question I had for you. So obviously you said about the service mode for the Meißen Branch. So it's an extension, isn't it, of the S1 services rather than additional services? Is that right?
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. It is. We've got another freight train going by, you know.
Look at that. Yeah, there's a lot, isn't there? Blimey.
More doors. Yeah, there's quite a few. It's a little bit more dense on this service, just towards the beginning, but we'll see a few more as we go.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it is quite. And they also having that many more trains on there does make it quite a bit more. What's the word I'm trying to say? Oh, it makes it more. You've got more interruptions. You're going to find more services having more problems with in terms of their, what's going on, because there is just more traffic on the route. So you can use the as I had suggested in one of the previous services on the streams that you can use the service duration on the menu, and then that will let you. That'll give you an idea of a service is got problems and hold-ups because it'll take longer. Suggest request to turn off the cameras. Let me turn off the cameras. Alright, are you still there, Jamie? Are you still there? No, you're not there.
Hello?
Ah, there you are.
Did you turn me off all of a sudden?
Well, we turned off the cameras. See, I'm using this different way of gathering of getting the streams to try and eliminate the lag and the slowness of doing screen captures, and I'm still getting used to how the whole thing works, and making a mess of it. But I blame the extensive documentation that comes with the system.
Yeah, I'm back. Don't worry. Hello, everyone. I'm back. I only disappeared for about 30 seconds, I think.
Yeah, it's only briefly. I did expect that it would probably happen, and I was ready. Why is this guy via so close to the stop? It's unfortunate. I hadn't appreciated it was as close as it is, but it's trying to hold back trains from blocking up Radebelost. Because you've got the trains coming across from Radebelost to the main line and vice versa. And again, you'll find them commandeering large sections of the network up ahead of them. In real life, there's clever human dispatchers are just a bit smarter at doing things, but at the moment I need to rely on trickery. Oh, look at this.
Oh, wow, look at the double pass. Look at that. That's nice.
Doors open again. So if we go and have a look at where this one's going to Bad Scandau. Yes, I did fix the spelling.
Look at that. Fantastic.
Right. I'll experiment with hiding the go vias, Dr. Bart. But previously, what happens is when you start hiding instructions, other things get confused, and you end up with no instruction on the screen whatsoever, rather than it showing perhaps the next instruction. So I need to experiment with the hidden ones before. Honestly, to be honest, I wanted to stick with what I knew for this. To get as much in, because it took quite a long time to get all that freight in and working properly. That was a huge change.
There's been a couple of questions about the IC trains. Are they the same length, or are they different sizes? And what was the other one? Sorry, I didn't see the other one.
The intercity trains haven't changed. They're the same as they were before. So I saw someone earlier on asking about the stopping point when they get to Dresden. I fixed that. There's a number of services that I found that are like at Grosenhain. I saw some feedback that the trains there weren't working properly, so I fixed that start point. I moved it around a bit, and then the IC services, I fixed their start point as well, or their end point. Sorry. So they've all been tweaked as well. So I mean, hoping you should. I think because I started a forum thread on our forums to sort of get people's feedback on what worked and what didn't work, and what they thought they'd like to see improve. I think I've addressed most of what was said there.
Yeah, yeah.
But hey, update the thread, you know. Let's keep the discussion going.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
Coming into Rideable Ost.
It's the first time I've actually seen the full route, because I don't think I've actually driven it yet. Any of Dresden yet. That's one thing
I
I need
really
to do.
like this route.
Yeah.
Really like this route. It's just got even better with the Meißen Branch because it's got that extra variety that branch lines bring.
Yeah, definitely.
Look at that perfect stop-ish.
Yeah, and apparently there's a lot of history in Meißen as well, isn't there? Obviously with the castle and everything.
Yeah, there's got castles. There's the churches in there. There's the porcelain factory. We'll go past the porcelain factory, and it's a world globally known place. The Meißen porcelain. Try saying that when you're doing PZB.
Yes, Train Simulator driver. Yes, I've been busy with TS, so I haven't driven as much on TSW. But I'm sure I will.
No, intermediate stops off world and not in. It's just the end points. It takes a lot of time typing all that extra stuff in, and I wanted to focus on spending time with the getting more and more services in rather than typing in destinations.
Someone's asked you, Matt, have you been to Ashford International?
I've been to Ashford International, yes. In fact, when the Javelin started running, my kids and I went for a ride, and we went down to Ashford, turned around and came back again.
Oh, really?
Because, you know, it's a ride on a train.
And Babe Bean Kid has started with the puns. That's a really bad one, Babe Bean Kid.
They're all really bad.
Oh, yeah.
Right, coming up in Rideable Weintraub.
Nice autumn as well. Right time of the year.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Must have had too many spirits. Oh.
Yeah, the Ravenglass and Eskdale got hit, didn't it? Over the weekend with all the heavy rain as well.
Yeah, it wasn't the best.
No.
Right.
We haven't got a date on the update. An update on the update. There you go. For any of this yet. But keep an eye on our usual channels for when, and we'll let you know when it's on
Safe
its
to
way.
say it's not long.
Yeah.
Another freighter. We seem to only be seeing 185s. Boring. Oh, we did see a 143 earlier. Not bad, I guess.
Yes, I think we did. Yeah.
Right, open doors.
I mean, you've got so many different German sort of locomotives and units now. What would you say is your go-to now? That you'd say, right, I'm instantly going to drive that today. No.
Oh, it depends what I want to do, but it's generally going to be... I like driving the 423 and the 425.
Yeah.
Because I like that style of gameplay as well, and they're both really, really fun units.
Oh, good. Yeah. Yeah, people are liking the freight. That's good.
Yeah, there's tons of it. Tell you what's a really fun place to do train spotting is go over. There's a video I was watching when I was wanting to learn more about it. Here, right?
Yeah.
Can't remember the name of it. Zitchen something or other. Zitchen's Freak or something like that. And not this one. Because it's so interesting because of the track plan here. It's really fun because you can see the Boyding line ramp. You've got the Coswig divert line. You've got the S-Bahn lines snaking around. And lots of different trains stop there. Some trains go by there. Really interesting. There's a superb video on YouTube of someone just standing there watching the trains going around. Really good. Definitely recommend it.
Yeah, there's certainly places sort of all over the world that you can go and and there's certain locations where you just like can sit there and watch trains all day and they just go past.
Right. Kochmroda. We're almost at Coswig, and then we turn onto the branch line.
Lovely.
So yeah, so the feedback I've been getting from the beta forum about service mode is they're enjoying it a lot more. It's challenging them more, and there's a nice variety in terms of the freight trains that you get to do. And the freight trains are generally not all green light runs either. So hopefully everybody finds that more to the liking. I think the 143 has something like 200 and some odd services it can do now, because it can do both passenger and freight stuff.
That's fantastic.
All the freight only trains can do 122, I think it is.
Is that kilometres an hour?
122 services.
Oh, services. Sorry.
Yeah, and I specifically wanted to get the 155 in their turbo engine because it's a personal favourite of mine, because it's a really interesting. I like the older stuff, and when it was commented, well, it seems silly that you haven't put it on there, and I'm like, yeah, you're right. What am I thinking? So made sure that happened.
Here comes another freight.
Why do some ICs make you go at the service at Neustadt? Where do they go after that? Oh, another freight.
Yeah, look at that.
Let's wait for this to go by, and I'll show you where that freight train, that other IC service goes. Right, Zichvig. There it is. This is the train spotting location. Right, so we have a bit of time. So after Neustadt, they come up here, up the avoiding line, and shoot up that way. So there is no other place that you could stop that train, which is why it's AI for that run.
Ah.
Yeah, I have no idea why the cab cars don't have it. I mean, it's even got the panel in there to have it at some point, but they don't have it. When CIFA goes off, press O on the controller, it only acknowledges PCB. Okay, I wasn't aware of that. I hadn't seen that one reported before, so I'll get someone to have a look at that. Is that on this route, or is that on all routes, or?
Oh, so Bob has asked, is there any freight services on the Meißen branch?
No.
No.
No, there's no freight to Meißen.
And another freight. Look at this. Another one. Look at that.
That's coming off of the avoiding line. Yeah, so the thing to do is to stand on this far end of the platform and find some times of day. And you find the freight services sort of are less frequent around rush hour to allow priority for passenger trains, and then busier. So if you want to see more freight, then go off rush hour. If you want to see more less freight and more passenger, go on rush hour.
Okay.
But yeah, what you want to do is sort of sit around here somewhere, because you can see the S-Bahn lines. You've got the avoiding lines just up here, and you can see the trains behind there going up and down, because it's only just here. So you can see these trains going up and down the avoiding line. So just sitting here for a while and watching trains going up and down is quite pleasant.
Lovely.
Coswig.
So I'm going to say, if there's no freight, how am I supposed to get my porcelain?
Wow. Lorry, I guess.
lorry, yeah. We will be.
Is the 185.2 playable in timetable mode? Should be. Oh, yes, should be, because we've seen a 185.2 as an AI train earlier on, so yeah, there shouldn't be any problem with that. Do AI now run with the pantograph up? I believe that's fixed, yes. Look back in the video, we've gone past several 185.5s, so go and check for yourself.
Flashing yellow.
Flashing yellow.
So we're nearly coming up to turning off then, no?
Shortly, we've got Coswig, and then next station after Coswig is on the branch.
Right. Go. See if we've got any more questions for you in a minute.
Is my engine any modified? No, it's not. I'm running ultra settings with 200% on the screen percentage. Speed limit of that flashing yellow. Well, that's a expect flashing yellow. I can't remember what flashing yellow is. 60, isn't it? Can't remember.
I'm not sure. So long since I'm trying to remember all the P's. I need to watch your tutorial.
Well, this is HL signals, and I'm not that familiar with HL signals yet. This is a double yellow, which is expect stop, proceed at 60 kilometres an hour, if I remember rightly.
Right.
Turn that annoying marker off.
Chief Flongton, it is very quiet because we are driving a cab car, so there is no motor noise.
There's no motors here.
No.
This is a coach.
Yeah.
And if we just pop over here, this is a Skåne train.
Yeah. So as you can see, there's the loco end, and we're driving from the other end, basically. Nearly. There you go, now you're in.
Right, it's holding us here to again stop. All the westbound Coswig trains are now all brought to a red because there was a massive fight going on previously with the trains all blocking each other up. So there's now less of a fight going on here, and it should be fine for trains to come out. And there's my route now off of the branch.
Lovely.
Right.
And there you go.
I don't know why that signal required me to close the doors. That's not how I was told it to work, so I need to take a look at that later as well.
Okay.
They're supposed to go as soon as you stop.
Bright orange W boards, what do they mean?
They're wait. Well, I can't remember what W stands for. It's just, but it's basically a wait board. You should basically contact the dispatcher at that point.
Oh, okay.
They're like movement limitations, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Wharton, that's it. Thank you.
Oh, there we go.
Right, so we're off out to Nazornowitz, 3 kilometres away. Branch line is coming up next.
Lovely jubbly.
Right, Ed's just reminded me of another thing that I need to discuss with everybody as well, and that is the ICE3 on Gen 8 consoles. So Gen 8 consoles, we're trying to solve this crashing problem. And the ICE3 is a memory hog. But rather than just delete it, we have deleted it. So the default timetable no longer has an ICE3 in it. However, what we've done is we've made it so that on Gen 8, by which I mean Xbox One, PlayStation 4, a second timetable will show up, which is the original timetable that has the ICE3 still in it. So if the services that you wanted to run fine, they're still there on the second timetable. But the default timetable, the one that's used by Journey and so forth, no longer has them. It's not an ideal situation, but we thought that by adding it in as a second timetable, those that were having a good time with it and wanted it could carry on still using it. If it was crashing before, it'll still crash now. The ICE3 is a beast on memory, yeah, so it's a step towards trying to create something which works in a more reliable fashion for you. But we are continuing work. There's still more to be done there, but it was what we could do right now.
Some people are asking for the horn.
Shocker. Is there a way to reduce the memory usage of the ICE3? I don't know. Why is it using so much memory? I don't know. That's we're doing a lot of profiling at the moment to work out all areas of the game and what's going on with the memory usage.
Here we go. Now crossing over.
Oh yeah, it'll be because it's 7 different vehicles. That's why the ICE takes up so much. It's the ICE3 is. It's not like this train, for example, is 3 different vehicles. I've got a coach, a loco, and a cab car, whereas the ICE3 is 7 different vehicles. So it's a really different kind. It's a much more expensive train, memory-wise, resource-wise, than this is.
Mm-hmm. Here we are now on the branch then.
Yeah, welcome to the branch line. We're now on the Meißen Branch. First station is Neuss-Hornowitz.
Carlos, if an RAU50 comes from behind in Colswick, will the player have to wait for the RAU50 to overtake the S1 because the signal goes green after closing the doors? I
don't know. It's purely timing. There is no way I can say the RE50 gets priority over the S-Bahn train, so it's purely down to timing.
Ooh, look at this. A wide open space there. Look at that.
Yeah, we're in the country. Right, coming into Neuss-Hornowitz now. Someone said are newer trains less efficient or more efficient than older trains in terms of resource usage? Yes and no. It depends because we're more efficient at making the trains now than we were before, but we're also putting more into them. So, and things like the ACS 64, it's not really a new train because certainly the model aspect of it and the textures and so forth were one of the first trains we made. But the locos and the coaches generally aren't too bad. It's just the number of different trains was where things start multiplying up. But I don't think it's just the trains. We're looking at all sorts of different areas of the game, not just looking at trains. Oh, right, okay. So this is a wrinkle that you need to get used to on the Meißen branch. I'll explain why it's done this way once we get going in a minute and travel the extensive 3 meters forward. And that is because you need to stop exactly on or over the stopping points. Don't stop before them. And the reason for that is basically at the 11th hour, it transpired that the trains were not stopping properly on the branch line, and I didn't have time to figure out why at that point in time. They're all stopping halfway down the line. All the trains were stopping halfway down the platform, and it was causing other problems as well as being rubbish. So I've used exact stops to get around that, so that all the trains stop in the right places.
Right.
But that does mean that you need to stop in exactly the right place as well.
No, okay.
Right, let's move on to Meißen, 5.3 kilometres.
Here we go. I like the different track textures as well.
Yeah, you can see where you've got older track versus track that's been refurbished.
Yeah. Bus on the bus station there, bus depot. Look at that. So I got some questions about the model. So with locomotives, and obviously we said about services, are these the main locomotives that, and the Dostos that you'd see on the branch?
Yeah, it's predominantly going to be the 146.2 and the Dostos, and then the extra rush hour services is generally 143 with a shorter train of Dostos.
Okay, yeah.
Moggy, there's no freight on the branch line, no, because I think the electrification runs out at Triebstahl, and I think if there is freight that runs further on the route, it's diesel.
So it'd be, I'm not sure what locos there'd be in Germany, which
I don't know, all sorts of things it could be, but there's none. We don't actually have any diesels, so
no. Go. It's very nice in autumn.
it's gorgeous, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. So, what was with building Meißen? What was sort of the most interesting and most difficult part of building Meißen, and sort of, you know, what made it sort of Meißen interesting, you know?
So I will state that I'm not obviously the person who did the Meißen Branch, so I am answering on behalf of Ed and Lucas who did it. I asked them this question earlier on to find out, get their answer, and once they stopped giving me silly answers, we got to some sensible answers. It was so what they said they found interesting was adding the fun stuff, and we'll get to some one of the bits of fun stuff at the very end. I'm going to leak a secret because it's just too ridiculously cool for words. And then in terms of most challenging, it's they're sort of like, you know, as you get with a lot of route building, it's how do you make it not look generic? How do you it's brought to, there's a lot of new assets built in. There's 10 different churches have been added to the
Wow.
route. And you know, how do you do all of that without taking months to do it and using up, you know, and filling up all available memory? You know, it's that whole memory topic again. So how do you find that nice balance? And I think they've done a beautiful job of creating this area. It doesn't feel generic. It doesn't feel repeated. But yet it's also quite efficient on how it uses resources.
Because a lot of people are saying this is sort of one of the first sort of branch extensions that we've done, you know, but
yes, but don't confuse it with what people normally call an extension. Because what people normally call an extension is, you know, the next 40 miles of a route.
Right.
So, and that's not what this is. This is we'd already laid the track and already done the signalling for this, you know, because that happens right at the very beginning of every project. We lay all the track and set all the signals up that we want. And it was only later on that the sort of the wheels came off on the planning, and we realised that wasn't going to work. You know, adding the scenery to that stuff is different to deciding to extend a route 40 miles. Yes, this is the first time we've added a notable amount of track and so forth to what you can see, but it's not the same as what people are normally. Doing this doesn't mean we're going to suddenly get Reading Oxford. Just to be clear.
Yeah. Okay. Go. We're in Meißen. Look at that.
The 363. Again, I don't think there's anywhere for freight to go, so the route stops here at Triebstall, in reality, the diesel line carries on and other places down here. So there are no sidings or anything down here. So no, there's no freight purpose or use of any kind on this. I've stopped too early again, haven't I?
You have, yeah.
I'm going to turn the markers back on because then it's visually obvious that I'm doing it wrong. At some point I will figure out why they aren't working properly and get rid of these exact stops because they're a pain. That's better.
There we are.
Alright, let's have a look around outside.
Yeah, I was just about to say, there you go. And all the traffic's trying to get around all the construction, look at that.
Back to cross the Elbe again. You can see Meißen just over there with the castle.
Look at that.
Have a look at the doors. This turnback siding is used in the service mode as well, and is used
really?
for one of the rush hour services parks up here and then comes out here and then later on comes back down in here. So yeah, that gets used in the service mode as well.
Yeah.
Right, let's push on. Meißen Altstadt and Meißen Triebstall to finish. 40 at the next.
Go over the famous bridge now.
Yep.
Look at this.
Isn't that amazing?
No, it's looking absolutely.
I love the
fantastic.
boy. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And the cliff edge there and all that, yeah. Look at that. Old chatter liking it. That's brilliant.
Right, going here. I love
Going
this
over
area.
across
It's so there's so much going on in this area scenically.
Yeah, look at all the cars on the car park there. Look at that.
Right, coming into Altstadt.
Lots of different levels as well. Look at that. Didn't notice that. Yeah, chat is saying it's stunning. Look at that. Oh, 5 meters.
Yeah.
Pull up again. There we go.
Let's have another look around outside.
Look at that. Now, I love all the different levels. Like how you got the cars coming down on the railway level, almost, and then, yeah. Look at that.
More churches.
Yeah.
The castle was visible for miles.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Right, final station. Then we're going to look at quick look at a couple of freight trains just so you can see what they look like. This here says we're going to Buffers.
Oh, okay. Oh, I did not know that.
So again, we need to acknowledge that. Violent X Striker said, how long did it take to make the branch? Difficult to know because it was kind of done overlapped because we decided to do the branch before we told you all we were going to do the branch, to be honest, which is why some people have been able to work out that if they hack their way through the boundaries, that the branch was actually a portion of the branch was already there, and it's because we'd been Lucas and Ed have been underway working on it for some time. Lucas and Ed, I know you're on the stream. Maybe you can give a better estimate on that. I love all this rock on the left hand side here.
Look at that. It almost looks like a different section. He's sort of going more into sort of the valleys of Germany, isn't it? More
Yeah.
Of hilly valleys.
That's the factory, if I remember rightly. That's Meißen porcelain.
Wow. Look at
No, I need to watch what I'm doing here.
that. Yeah, you don't want to hit the buffers, do you? Yeah, babe, being kid, I was trying to use the right sort of language. It's probably completely wrong, but
Hilly valleys.
hilly valleys. There you go. Right, yeah.
Hilly valleys. Nice.
Someone will quote me on that now. You watch.
So, the door's open. Let's have a quick look around here.
More construction work. Look at that. So how, in reality, how far does the electric go on from here? Does it go any further in reality, or?
No, I think it stops there. Yeah, there it is. Look. There's the
Yeah.
terminator there.
Ah, so actually that's sort of, for the electric services, that's sort of the end. Yeah,
That's your lot.
yeah.
Right, let's lock the doors. It's stunning, isn't it? Big
It's
shout
lovely.
out to Lucas and Ed for what they've done.
Fantastic. Brilliant.
Right, so that is the Meißen branch, and also a glimpse at the some of the service mode stuff. Let me just quickly whiz through the freight timetable. So if I pick, for example, the 155, it's 112 services, apologies. You'll see that there's a lot.
Look at
And
that.
if you click on it, you'll notice that... oh, that's not what I wanted to do.
Dum da dum dum.
Oh yeah, no, we're not done yet, F Block L. We're going to show 2 or 3 more bits, and then we're going to show the fun detail. Right, let me come back out to the menu. What I was trying to show there was that you can use the map is now all corrected for each of the services, or the freight services, so that you can see whether they're a... if you look at that one, for example, it's a Roderau via the avoiding line to Dresden, and that one is Riesa via the main line to Dresden.
Ah,
Yeah, so you can use
so which way? Yeah.
there's a Riesa to via the avoiding line, and the start is where the yellow thing is, so that one's actually going that way. So you can use these now to work out all the different paths that go there, and I'll let you find it, but there is one that takes the GBF line down here, and it doesn't show it on the map because I'm weak apparently. Right, okay. Next, so what we want to do now is just very briefly run the 1121, which is one of the new services. We're not going to run it all the way. Jamie said he wanted to go to bed tonight.
Yeah.
So this is 1,800 tons. So this is quite substantially heavier than any of the other trains that were in there previously. This is a loaded Zackens train. and we're in the BR155. I mean, that's really all I wanted to do here at this point was show you the BR155 is working, and that this is a beast of a train at 1800 tons. One of the other things that you'll find is that these trains are auto setting their brake mode details correctly as well. So based on the weight, they're automatically setting their mode to G or P accordingly. So again, this is a train that's in mode G. You'd need to run this in PCB mode U, and you'd be limited to, you want to limit yourself to 90 kilometers an hour because of the weight of the train and the braking ability. So you've got train weights that are, let me just bring up my list here. You've got train weights which are 1,000 tons, 1,400, 1,800, 1,700, 600, 1,200, 500, 1,500, and then you've got, oh hello, very nice. And then you've got this one.
See.
No, this one.
Oh, that was close.
Now, this train, there aren't many that use this particular formation. And I'm going to start with the 143 just because it's fun, although we won't be going anywhere in it. This is an 0930 service. Yes, I realise my calculations are not quite right. It probably means it's an 0936 service because I'm looking at the spawn time.
Just saying, bait being kid, 1,800 tons. Professor Grant could pull that off without even starting the engine.
There you go, 2,700 tons.
Wow.
This is the heaviest train in the game, in the route, and it is appropriate to run it with the 143. Just 143 is not going to enjoy it, but it will do it. So.
And I'm sure that's probably happened in real,
Oh yeah, these are all based on real formations. As I said, these are formations that I was given by someone in the forum who's come up with quite a range of formations for me, and I'm going to work with him to get him so that he's going to publish up a document which will outline what types of trains run at what times. So there'll be some more information coming onto the forums at some point soon. So as soon as I can give him the information he needs to finish that up, so expect that at some point. Right, we are going to run a nighttime service now. This is at 21:15 in the 146. $21.15, excellent. Because obviously, one of the key things everyone really liked about this route was the night time. So I thought we should really have a look at what the route looks like in night time. Because turns out it's awesome. Turn that on, put that in, put that forward, put that to the right. Open the doors.
Use the horn. Open the doors.
for reasons. Put all the safety systems on. Good. Right. Now let's have a look outside.
That is gorgeous.
Right, I've got to go in a minute.
That is absolutely gorgeous, especially the churches with the spires and everything. It looks fantastic. How it's all lit. Look at that.
Starry, starry sky.
Yeah, very. Moon
Lock
as well.
the doors. PIS on this train. Let's go and have a look at it. This is a Bad Scandau service. That's what it should say up. Well, apparently not up there, but does it say on the loco? Should do.
Let's have a looky.
No, it's not saying it on the loco. Why not? Is there an on button? There we go. No? Alright, well, I'll try and find out why that's not working then. It shows up on the AI trains, alright. Anyway, let's get going.
Yeah, there has been a lot of effort gone into the lighting, hasn't there, Matt? With especially with this route. I mean, I saw some of the stream when you did the first one showing it at night, and that looked fantastic.
Yeah, Ed and Lucas spent a lot of time on the night lighting, as much as they did on the how it looks during the day, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh no, I reset. Yes.
Oh, that was close, wasn't it? The but 147 definitely agree. It is absolutely stunning on this. It's absolutely fantastic.
Right, we're just going to take this one to Coswick, and then we'll go and do something different.
Yeah.
See the castle in the distance there.
Look at that. There is something so nice about driving at night, though, isn't there?
Yeah. Very much so. Put it on AFB. I could put it on AFB.
RFB.
And you need to go a little bit further.
Oh, jeez.
Got the doors open.
No. I closed the doors. Right. Let's get those doors open.
There is so much going on, isn't there? In this section. Look at that. It really feels like a German town, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It really, you know.
Captures the area really well.
Yeah.
Right. Meißen.
Oh, the crossing here, there you go. Look at that. I just love how everything's on different levels.
Yeah.
It just feels, you know.
It is different, isn't it? Going over the Elba again.
There we go. Oh wow. That is gorgeous. And even the boy's got a little bit of light over it. So, reflect.
Right, down to Meißen.
Chat are loving it. Which looks good. Nigel, yeah, the river is stunning. It is lovely. You can even imagine yourself like walking along the, you know,
Please don't say
walking
the river.
along there.
Are the carriage lights on? I may not
That's
have
a
pressed the
good question.
carriage lights on button. Let's try to see if the carriage lights are on. They are now.
They are on. We'll have a there isn't any release date for this as yet, but keep an eye on our usual places. But
We'll let you
don't
know.
worry, we'll let
It
you
won't be
know.
long. It won't be long.
Yeah.
As you can see, it's all done. It's final testing now, and we've also the team is still working on the robustness issues on certainly on the Gen 8 platforms.
Yeah. Yes, Nigel. Yes, I haven't actually driven the whole route yet. It's something I need to have a go with Dresden. Definitely.
Oh, remember I said that there was a train that stables up here, rush hour train. This is one of those rush hour trains stabled here now.
Look at that. That's nice. And do you get to is there a service you get to set that up and take that out?
Yeah.
Or bring it back in? Yeah. That's brilliant.
Right. Gets a bit faster from here on as we do the 4 kilometres over to Sornowitz. Bit more country here, so there's not really any local lighting.
No. We're certainly doing that service where you were starting at Dresden and going to Meißen. I mean, it's a lovely sort of like you start with all the lights and everything at Dresden, and then you get to sort of Meißen and go with all the lights as well there. You know.
Mm. There is lighting.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Otherwise than that, it's kind of fields to the left there, so it's a black void. Dark
Although
void.
you do have the shiny signs. There you go.
Yeah, we got shiny signs. So again, the system's holding back the dispatcher at Sornowitz, so that it doesn't completely destroy the main line for the entire time I'm doing this run. So you don't get permission to proceed onto the main line until you've until you've finished until you've arrived at Sornowitz, which then makes the line run a lot smoother.
Ah, okay. It's almost as if it's sort of like you would like grant permission to go in, almost.
Yeah, I mean, in reality, they wouldn't grant permission onto the main until they needed to, because it's not just normal signals. Right, so I need to go through here. So just coming up to the Sornowitz now.
Fleet.
Do you need to earn the other German route? Hauptstrecke Rheinrohr? Yes, you do. Yeah. Some people are telling me that doesn't seem to be the case anymore, but officially you do. If it doesn't do that, then I don't think that's an intentional change, and it might cause problems if you don't. At this time, my understanding is you need to own the route that it's intended for. All right, coming up onto Sornowitz now.
Lovely. Are we going to get a good stop? Are we going to get a good stop? Oh.
Well, that wasn't a good stop at all because I used all the brakes. Shut the doors.
There we go.
Let's get a move on. Speed limit for us is 40 for the time being. Signal hasn't gone up, which means at the moment something's blocking us. That something is this freight train.
Oh, really? As far back as that? Wow, okay.
It's only one block.
Okay. All right, fair enough.
Yeah, it's only one block.
So, realistically, would this sort of within some services, would you have to wait then for some freights if in this situation, or is there sort of some blocking services that you have to wait at red or things like that? Does that happen?
Well, that's
in
what I'm
some
doing here.
services?
I'm waiting now for that train. And now I think that by the time I get there, it'll probably have gone past.
Yeah.
It's the 60. The fact that we're running on 1,000 hertz doesn't really hurt us too much because it's a 60 limit anyway. And we're coming up on a stop, so we hold fire here. Yeah, because the signal's there.
Oh, there we go.
And he's already pretty much on it.
Yeah, he's not far, is he? No. Because you're still doing 40 up to the signal anyway, so by the time you get to the signal, he would have cleared the block.
Yeah.
Man,
No, it isn't the case that the main line always gets priority. Because if the train is stopping at whatever that station is there, then it will not get permission to go further until it's done its stop.
Right. Okay.
Which means that the branch line can get priority, can get out and not be held up for it either. So it's anything stopping there won't block up the branch line, but anything running through there will lock up the branch line. But by nature, its very nature, it also won't be there for very long.
Okay, that's interesting.
Right, we've got the 500 hertz. Come on, go up. Don't make me stop.
Crawling up to the signal like, please.
Trying to avoid it going into monitoring. If I'd had sense, I would have slowed down before now and crawled up from a further distance. No, I'm going to have to slow down.
There we go.
That's it. Popped into monitoring. And watch any second now the light change.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
So now I'm stuck at 25 kilometres an hour. Thanks, freight train.
It's the same when you you're driving up to a traffic light and you just stop at the traffic light and then it goes amber green and you're just like, oh, I did that all for nothing.
Right, we've got 1,000 hertz from that. We're now up to 45 hertz limit, or 45 kilometres an hour limit. Let's get out of here. Speed up. I know it's called Liam, and all the other names for it as well. I won't go too fast because that was only a one block. That was an expect stop.
Yeah.
If I didn't have the cheat mode HUD turned on in the top right, I would be expecting that the next signal was a red.
Yeah.
But the cheat mode HUD tells me it's not, so we're all good.
We're good. We're good.
Just roll into Coswick now.
exactly.
Is the display saying 1 kmh? I'm not sure which display you're talking about.
Is you talking about the you talking about the HUD? Is it,
Red Leader
kilometres
just
on
said
it?
one. Is the display saying 1 kmh? I don't know what you mean. The one in the train. It says 39.
Oh, I think he means the
40.
red underneath.
That is 0. That's LZB, and that's not used.
Right. In yellow, he said below.
Oh, the yellow. Oh, -1. Ugh. Okay.
That's a good spot. Well
That's,
done.
yeah, well done. Well done.
Yeah, it's a good spot.
I don't know what's going on now. I will send this this VOD to the setup team and with a what gives, man? What gives?
What have you done that for? Who did that?
Who did that? That's not right.
Yeah, it looks lovely at night. Look at that.
Moon glinting off of the roof there.
Yes, definitely. I'd like to see some screenshot composition entries on the Meißen Branch. What does the R mean? I saw an
That's
R.
better. That's a route indicator.
Okay.
That'll be telling us which way we're going. We'll be going on the. I can't remember what R means. Radical, probably.
Yeah.
One of the ones groundwater indicators.
Yeah. There we go.
And this is Coswick, which is the same Coswick you all know and love. So that's the Meißen Branch during the day, and during the night we've got one more thing to look at. Let's have a look at some PIS while we're here. Leipzig, RE50.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
And Rosenheim, RB31. Rosenheim? Interesting. Don't know why that's saying Rosenheim.
No.
Right, shut the doors. But anyway, that's as far as I want to take that service. We've got one more thing to do, which won't take long, and it's just you know the Ed and Lucas. You know they like going a bit silly, in the best possible way. So what I need to do is spawn Meißen at.
Was it 5 you needed to?
I can't get to the document. Thank you. 5 o'clock was when I wanted to do it because I liked what it looked like.
Yeah.
And then we will press start.
Oh.
Right.
Being kid was like, there we go. Right.
So we'll have a wander.
Oh, look at this.
Am I going the right way?
Are you going the right way?
That's the right way. So we need to have a wander this way.
Right.
There's probably a more elegant way of doing this, but I wonder if I can get there down here. No, I can't. Okay. Let's just wander down to this away.
Right.
And I want to get down to that little cobble path down there. So I'm going to leg it down here. This actually got bugged.
Okay.
This got bugged by our QA team as a player allowed to escape boundaries, but then Ed and Lucas said, no, they're not. So now we can walk over the bridge.
Look at this. That's brilliant.
Oh, you haven't seen anything yet.
You haven't seen anything yet. There we go. Right.
I was so impressed when I saw this. It's brilliant. Slightly concerned that everybody's expecting it now. So, Ed, you'll be doing it all, yeah? You've set the standard, you'll be the one keeping it.
Yeah. That'll be one of it, yep.
So we carry on a wandering down here. Feeling like you're in amongst the mix of it. It's brilliant, all the detail.
Look at that.
Have a look around all this area. There's stuff to see. Can't Can't go down there. Can't see there. Go away. The trains are just running up and down up here.
You could take some really good screenshots from there, couldn't you? As well, looking up.
Yeah. Oh, good idea, actually. Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
This is. Now, we'll just have a quick wander down here because you can wander all the way down here.
Look at this.
And up to the level crossing. So the other way you can get to it is from I think that's Oldstadt, and then walk back down here, down to the level crossing. Come down here, walk along here, and then. And I was wandering around. I was like, "Oh, I wonder what happens if I look down here." And there's even details around here. Look,
Wow.
And what we're looking for is this. So at this point, we go up the stairs. We're going up the footbridge that we went under before. We can do a bit of train spotting here. But there are more fun places to go train spotting. Let us continue.
Oh, let's continue.
Let us continue.
Right.
Look at this. Isn't this fantastic?
This is brilliant. Look at this. Got the stair challenge. Look, how many stairs can you run
exactly.
up?
Does this count? Does this count on my step counter?
Yeah.
And here we enter the sightseeing platform,
Wow. Here we go.
where you've got a couple of views, one of which is Meißen, the scenic view, and the other one is the bridge over here, so you can sit and do a bit of train spotting.
That's brilliant.
It's amazing, isn't it?
That is fantastic.
Places to walk.
There you go. Sam will be getting his walk count up. There you go.
That's but isn't it lovely?
Yeah.
Nice and cozy
really
up
nice.
here. So that's it. Meißen Branch, new service mode. Apparently there's a few warts there as well, so I'll try and rewatch the stream and make some notes. No promises on anything else at this point, but I'll make notes and get them in our system. But hopefully you'll agree, lots of bugs fixed from what was in there previously, and some additional improvements, plus obviously the branch itself. So lots of cool things. Give Sam a raise. That was Ed and Lucas that worked on the route branch line, Violent X Strike. I mean, Sam should get a raise for all sorts of reasons, but not because he worked on the route. That's Ed and Lucas. No, Flughafen's not included. Leave Alta. It is the Meißen Branch. It's this bit here. Yeah, that was what you could see the track here before, but this is what's been added. This bit up here. The airport, it would be up here somewhere. So yeah, this is the Meißen Branch, and that's it for the demo, folks. We'll let you know when we have a firm release for it, and when you can expect it. It will not be long, so keep an eye out for it. And when you've got it, I'm looking forward to seeing some amazing screenshots. Okay,
Definitely.
Big thanks to Ed and Lucas, and also thanks to unnamed person on the forums who can out themselves if they want to later on. Who helped me with beefing up freight on the service mode. Much appreciated for all of your help. And in the meantime, other rest of that, have a great rest of the evening, folks, and we'll see you on the next stream. Cheers, everyone. Bye.
Yeah. Bye, everyone. Cheers.